Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're continuing into the trial for Maggey Byrde because last time Jean Armstrong finally confessed that he is in fact being blackmailed by Furio Tigre. And instead of the case being pushed till tomorrow, Godot was like, I will handle this. I want to see that fight so badly, but we'll never get it. Let's just continue. I'm actually really excited.
So we're finally going to see the tiger on the sand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick.
I wish I could agree.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out, without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. And I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, Bill.
Detective Gumshoe.
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling to get a black, little Miss Topknot. It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ugh.
No kidding.
You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Ain't a thing.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
an hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
Why didn't we start this, like, at the beginning of the recess? We had 30 minutes. We just had to stall for 30 minutes.
True, without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave you back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Sure think, Bill. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. And just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
Let's do this. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem.
Tamed him. That guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on.
He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. I feel like you say that from knowledge. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... Ah!
Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's no room for me down there too.
Would you mind...
What'd you say to me?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest.
Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge?
I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole?
Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the... judge. Your Honor.
Oh, dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me. Just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed.
You didn't hear me. I said who the hell was it that called me in here?
I don't know why I'm doing it that way. I'm literally just keeping my mouth shut and then trying to enunciate through that. I don't know why. I really don't know how to do more masculine voice. There's no need to shout. We can all hear you.
What'd you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in the snare, the relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Grr.
Too cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggey Byrde?
Maggey who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course. Well, you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Phoenix Wright.
I feel like I need to do the tongue thing. I really don't know how I could, like, talk with that.
You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me.
Get a grip, Nick. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that.
I know the kind of games that dip guy in blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Low life. Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that don't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt with you entangle with the tiger.
I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not. This witness is. How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's head off. Yours too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Oh no! Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick!
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya?
Oh boy, we can't. You can't unnecessarily press. Do we have anything? Because we have this. We have Violetta's papers. And then we have the MC Bomber. Wait, is it the fact that he wasn't tied up in business because he was out here representing me? Or pretending to be me? Because those, I think, are the only things that we have. And then this. I don't know if we necessarily can press. I guess we can't press. We just have to present evidence. I guess.
Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow you.
Wait! Do I not? Okay, wait. Do we press this then?
Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cavarini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. Samba, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
Seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
There he goes again. Huh. The tiger did all this. Or isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So we're gonna press this because we do have the thing where he was supposed to meet, or Elg was like, I'm supposed to meet with the tiger. Mr. Tigre,
What'd you want?
if you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules.
No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too?
Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats who wanted to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Goodo, if you could, please.
Mr. Tigre,
The court asked you to add the last statement to your testimony. Okay, this is how we get it.
don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself.
Okay. Now we can use this, I think.
Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg, but it appears that Mr. Glen Elg knew you. I added the Glen.
What?
Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar, meet with the tiger, and the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him.
Not bad. You's actually not bad.
Sorry.
I was just messing with you to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
You's calling me a liar. Is that what you're doing?
Uh-oh.
So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth.
And then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre.
Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? Never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy.
Wait, MC Bomber. That's how we're gonna use it. It'll be MC Bomber.
I ain't no lie. I never met Glen Elg. That was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy in my office, 10 to lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that trivia joint. You's here?
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. And Bill's going straight to you, right?
Ugh.
But he had the MC Bomber. He literally had that. Now, we don't have any proof that he was never... Wait. Okay, but this doesn't really necessarily give us proof that he was there. It could be from, what's-his-face? Jean. But... we do have... I'm trying to think. It's either the matches or it's MC Bomber. Like, this is proof that he knew him because he had it. Because Glen Elg was the one who made MC Bomber. We also know that he was there. Okay, let's start with pushing this. Because we do have the matches, which I'm guessing is something?
Never. Not even once.
Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee. Capiche? Huh. You think he really didn't meet Glen Elg?
Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing.
So you mean that whole testimony he gave was a lie?
Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. I'm gonna nail him while I still can.
We don't... Okay. I think this is where we can push. Because we have this with the MC Bomber and the 100,000. And then there's something with the 500,000. But then we also have this. We'll try pressing it.
So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Tribulations then?
Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I got an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there.
Not exactly a professional office you've got there, you know. So you were in your office on the day in question?
Waited around, he never showed.
He didn't show up?
What do you think, Trite? Let's see. How does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office?
And you yourself didn't go to Tribulations.
What are you trying to pin on me here?
Why
don't you just come down to my office? We can chat about this thing my way, yeah? I got the best punch. Okay, we talked about the punching bag. Listen up, I ain't... Okay.
I guess we could press this then? But that's not really necessarily proof. I guess if we set this up, then it can be that he was there on the day, and then we have the MC Bomber. That's my guess. I'm not certain on it, though.
Objection! Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you talking about?
We found them in your office at Tenderlander. They're from that restaurant.
What?
If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of restaurant matches doing on your desk?
I mean, it doesn't really prove anything. All it proves is that, like, it could have been Jean that was there, because we do have proof of that.
You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you?
Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me.
I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay. I was at the joint that day.
What?
Listen good, alright. I might have been there, but I still never met the kid.
Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have.
I just realized something. Wait. Okay, so MC Bomber, what if that was something used to, like, wipe out fingerprints for the cadaverinis? Because the fingerprints that are on the medication bottle were Viola's. Or Violetta. They've used Viola and Violetta, both. And that's what was happening. But the question is with Tigre connected to the cadaverinis, other than through Viola, like, why wouldn't it make more sense to just get rid of him in the first place? Especially if he was the reason that Viola, like, practically died. That's what I'm still trying to figure out. Is what benefit does Tigre give Bruto?
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. And opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Girl was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it.
Yes, sir. The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know, since you's paying.
Oh man, doesn't the rules of the law mean anything around here?
Okay. Supposed to meet the kid at the afternoon. It's laid out on the table. Okay. The biggest issue we have is the whole MC Bomber aspect now. But I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna connect into this. Because the thing is now that I can't find anything that's necessary. Wait, would he have been able? He wouldn't have been able to see it. Because there's a blocker. He wouldn't have been able to see it from the door. Right? Okay, let's try pressing it and then we'll do it.
An ugly scene? What do you mean?
Oh, fuck you, Godot. Okay. Psst. Go choke on your ceramic cup. Okay, I guess we can't really press anything. Because he wouldn't have been able to see it. He wouldn't have been able to see it because there's literally the barrier things right there.
Objection! You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre?
No one escapes the tiger's clutches.
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix clutches. I think it's time we got something straight.
What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning.
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre? From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
Unfortunately for you, that's not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why? That's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim, witnessed by Mr. Kudo, was not Glen Elg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim and he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That'll do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elg and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Wait, my question, could he have used Violetta? We have nothing that's brought her into any of this. Honestly, though, so long as you put stuff on Maggey, you could have her unconscious body slumped. But it has to be Tigre, right? Like, there's no way that it wouldn't have been anyone else. I'm kind of like, I want to double check. I'm like 90% sure we're going to blame Tigre. Yep.
Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness.
Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is the king of the jungles. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you've got the guts.
You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright!
Sounds to me like you must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot! Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no.
Serico brought him a Javachino, but then she put something in it. There's no question about it. She's very conspicuous. He put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Very impressive, Mr. Godot, waiting for my absence to launch your attack.
Found your pen at last, Trite.
It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glen Elg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright?
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glen Elg really was the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Byrde, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? I really wish we had Lisa Basil, like, in more of this. It's fine, though. Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlunder.
You's making a big mistake. You know who Violetta's grandfather is. You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick.
Where was I? Hey, yes, the defendant, Miss Byrde, had stated the following.
Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh.
There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Byrde seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. One for real and one for show. And Mr. Ferrier Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you.
Witness, what have you got to say? And that's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do with a guy like you around.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go.
Something to think about.
You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, Wright? But just missed out one real important thing.
That can't be.
I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear?
What? You really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre?
What a troublemaker.
Troublemaker?
Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Indeed. Witness, will you explain yourself to the court? I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? If he doesn't mention MC Bomber, then we have that connection. Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That day, he was due to have a little chat. That kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elk was $50,000. Yeah, well, she's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know.
That's fast and fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
His motive? He has to have one, but what is it?
It's the MC Bomber, because it's supposedly worth millions, and that's how he pays off for Viola. I don't know if he's saying the wrong name or not. Because he used this. I kind of want to press on this. Because also we proved that this didn't happen at 1:30. Hopefully we can still press.
How much did he have left of his debt?
You wanted in round figures? About $100,000.
That's the whole amount.
We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet.
What? You was telling me he wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee? Certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elk. That God was smooth, that tells you. Real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes, that's what he said to me. That guy calls me the 10th target. He was skating on thin ice with me. We can press this because we know that that wasn't at the time.
Was there anyone else in the restaurant at the time?
I don't remember.
There was no one else there. I'll wear that ridiculous Tigers shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggey, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time.
So, the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning? Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win a lottery, would you?
The undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler.
Makes it sound so cool.
Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it. All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end.
The waitress, you mean?
The girl with the glasses and the defendant's chairs. Who else could I mean? She hadn't gotten in the way. Things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with.
Here, you gotta push a little bit further on this.
Let's do this.
What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
As you was all there, what? I'm not talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell for the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive of killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
The Tiger's motive, huh?
I feel like that's wrong. Again, MC Bomber. We'll press real quick.
Are you saying you had no other motives that day?
Yeah, so what?
Then, why didn't you take the lottery ticket when you left?
What did you think? Because 4 Eyes over there.
Because of Maggey?
How about you go ask 4 Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad. She poisoned Elg's coffee.
Again, no one carries potassium cyanide around with them all the time. Like, how he's making it sound is so much like she chose to, like, poison him, but, like, no one, like, I feel like carrying around potassium cyanide is, like, premeditation, whereas he makes it sound like it was a spur of the moment.
A likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. Tigre.
Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, Wright.
Well, I don't exactly agree with some of the deals I send down. I couldn't be there when the cap showed up, so I split. I see.
Your Honor. The witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee.
Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony, or would you like it to be amended? I'm gonna say amend it, because why not? Because then we can push.
I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended.
Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please. I don't think it is.
The Tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggey. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Talk about the cash. Okay, we had this talk. Okay, so I guess we do have to press here. And it's that when we bring up MC Bomber. I guess so. We really don't have any other opportunity to bring it up.
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
What are you getting at, Trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. And in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection. You're trying to suggest the witness's motives was to get hold of that program.
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time.
But what if he had needed the money right then?
When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
Seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million? Where is that medical paper?
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do you know?
These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs.
No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting granddaughter to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly. The 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. crazy. He murdered Glen Elg and then made his next move to frame Maggey Byrde for the crime. Mr. T. Gray posed as Mr. Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Byrde. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. And Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. T. Gray's plan. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. Silence her up.
Ah. You've put on a good show, Spiky. If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You say you're not dressed up like that kid, create a witness and frame someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Byrde had no way out.
What? Another one? Mr. Wright!
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright? What was this trick you say Mr. T. Gray performed to frame the accused?
Is it the... Is it the fact that he pretended to be us? Is that what it is?
I think so.
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. T. Gray, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me.
What? That's...
The truth.
But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take a stand and testify it was him?
Hey. Forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Mr. Godot was right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No.
If the defense has no further evidence, the court will not excuse the witness. Circumstances surrounding Mr. Teager are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glenn Elk. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Do we have proof that it was Viola?
Heh. It sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna get mauled. You got that?
All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. I was so close to getting to admit his own guilt.
It looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence and maybe I could get Maggey off the hook.
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. T. Gray.
Yana, sir. Wait.
I can't do wait with that voice. Detective?
Detective Gumshoe.
Sorry it took so long, Belle. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. And so here it is. My heart's counted on this too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, Belle? It's the final decisive piece of evidence.
What?
And sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results back from the lab.
The results?
About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so? You know whose prince it belongs to now?
You think I'm some kind of act detective? Of course I know. So, tell us.
They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. The Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
It's great. We got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but really doesn't make it any different whose prints are on the bottle now.
Huh? What? Well, why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison into Glenn Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great, no matter how I try, never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggey. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's no breaking news to me, Belle.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggey? You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggey. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. I was supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of here now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it.
This is really interesting because usually stuff like that, it's like, cha-cha! Like, you know, kind of that big thing. And now it's like, it doesn't even matter.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess. You could prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time will you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers should know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. Maybe if we thinks he's got me beat. He'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final piece of Like, it has to be this.
But can we say it's the poison?
Oh, not that. This. Like, but
This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
isn't that the victim's?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. Are we lying? We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigray.
What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except one man and one person in this courtroom who should theoretically be in the dark.
Prints are on that pansy-looking bottle, is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like a perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigray, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison you used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle.
Is that how we're gonna get him to kind of blurt everything?
And on this bottle, Mr. Tigray, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that?
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. Ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it?
No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
Got him, at last.
What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle with the cyanide was in.
Oh, we pushed our luck so hard on this one.
The Jews ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that girl where to go.
You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
You don't know who you's messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Grr.
going on?
Looks like a blackout.
Well done, Wright. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going along with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot?
He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenelg, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Byrde was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was.
And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. Very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal.
The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Godot. Well, I'm now in position to deliver my verdict.
This court finds defendant Maggey Byrde not guilty. Every time I say not. Yeah.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggey. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now, I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggey. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I'll be headed off then. See you around, pal.
Wait.
Detective Gumshoe. Yeah. Congratulations, Maggey. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along.
Wait, hold on. What is the age gap between them? I don't remember, because I never remember Gumshoe's age. Ever. 9. It's still kind of sketched. Like, maybe in a few years it won't be as bad, but right now I'm like, ugh. But that's just me.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh?
Oh, well, I was... I'll be headed off then.
Wait up, detective. He just ran off.
Maggey, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya is right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggey? You know Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. And on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggey. He's a detective. He had to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her.
Oh no. It's another one.
Oh my gosh. Here you are, present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
Present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now? So, how is it, Maggey?
It's really good. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggey have all been cleared up. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. And that's it for Recipe for Turnabout. This was really interesting, and I am super excited. Edgeworth is back! Edgeworth is back! Oh gosh, I have to remember his voice. That's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more Phoenix Wright Trials and Turnabout, where apparently Edgeworth comes back. Whether to replace Godot or we're representing Godot. Edgeworth won't die though, right? Like, we're not killing Edgeworth off? I hope not. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!